Hey guys, I'm actually you'll have to excuse me. I'm sorry. My whole ears, nose, and throat. I guess you're not in the best state right now. You might even be able to hear it in my voice. Well, luckily, I won't be recording for too much right now, or for too long rather. So it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I just wanted to cover some important things that sort of came to my attention. I feel like maybe the way that I'm playing this character needs a little bit of explanation, further explanation. I mean, I just noticed the clipping that happens with these gloves. That's a shame. They're amazing. I'm not getting rid of them, but it's a bit of a bit of a shame. Anyway, okay, so first of all, before we go forward, I'm going to read. I have printed out from the Imperial Library. I have the Precepts of Stendarr and the Four Abominations, which I was going to actually spawn in a copy on Davos's character and then read them in game, and I might do that. This might even just be like an update video because it's going to be very short, and quite honestly, I'd sort of rather do what I just said. So, but I'll read it here for you guys now. We'll start with Precepts of Stendarr. By Tollus the Bright, Resolute of Stendarr. All are welcome within Stendarr's gracious embrace. His temple doors are never closed, for all in Tamriel deserve comfort and shelter. He welcomes the afflicted, the hopeless, the forgotten, and yes, even the heretical. Through his priests, he offers them counsel and assistance. His hallowed radiance heals those who open their hearts and seek his benevolence. His mercy is boundless, and by the clarion call of his horn, he can mend any wound, stay any disease, and soothe any broken soul. Stendarr's faithful are blessed by great revelations in the healing arts. If you seek his wisdom, wield the gift of restoration magic in his name, which obviously we're doing. So follow his precepts and make yourself vulnerable to his will. And then it goes on to list his precepts, which are: never refuse aid you are capable of providing. Go among the infirm and the wounded whenever you find them. Offer prayer to Stendarr every day. Do not hoard wealth or indulge physically. Above all, never forget Stendarr's command. Be kind and generous to the people of Tamriel. Protect the weak, heal the sick, and give to the needy. Okay, so let's go over that first before I go to the second one. Okay, so never refuse aid you are capable of providing. All right. You may have noticed that as of late, not as of late, actually, throughout the entirety of this playthrough, up until this point, up to this point, rather. Sorry, I keep talking in circles. We have not been really talking to many people. We haven't really got a lot of side quests. You know, we sort of jumped into the college quest line and kind of put the blinders on, you know, which, sorry for the Java update. I really have to take care of that. Hopefully that, yeah, okay, I was going to say, hopefully that'll go away in a minute. It usually does. Okay. So it seems like I'm a bit single-minded, you know. But I feel there are a couple reasons for that. One, Davos, you know, while he, you know, he's a Stendarr, a self-proclaimed, you know, Stendarr. Obviously, it's not official yet. So, you know, he feels like an affinity, you know, toward the people, you know, a general affinity for the people in Tamriel, and he wants to help them whenever he can. But something that's sort of actively fighting against that is the fact that he's pretty antisocial. Growing up, you know, sort of where he did, you know, under the circumstances, he usually regretted talking to people almost immediately after the fact. You know, like whether, you know, he was mistreated, whether because of his, you know, his race or his like social standing, or the fact that he was younger. You know, there was just, you know, he sort of grew up to learn, like, the less I talk to people, the better, you know. So, and that's sort of a hard habit to break, and it's like actively sort of fighting against this, like, never refuse aid you're capable of providing. Well, it's like hard to, you know, realize when those situations arise if you never actually have conversations with people that might need help. So that's something he's going to have to work past. And he will be working on that, but as of right now, you know, it's sort of not the highest priority, you know, because he went to the college, and got involved in this whole Sijic Order affair. You know, all of this crazy nonsense that he doesn't quite understand yet, but he's trying to. And it sounds like this is of the utmost importance. It's very high priority, you know. So also in addition to that, he's like, okay, I don't want to talk to anyone else right now. I don't have time for anyone else's issues, even though I would love to help. This seems very pressing and important and vital, you know. So he's really pushing through with this, sort of how I'm picturing in my head. And it's interesting too because it says never refuse aid you are capable of providing, which is hard. Because if this character is to be, you know, even slightly devout, you know, that's a pretty important one. And so it's going to fall to me to probably have to do, which I'm not complaining about, but I'll probably be obligated to do a lot of quests I might otherwise not want to do because, you know, he's sort of sworn to help these people. You know what I mean? Almost regardless of circumstance. Unless, obviously, he can reason it out that, like, they are, like, helping that person would somehow hurt another resident of Tamriel, you know, another person, you know what I mean, in some way. Then I'm sure he could sort of reason out not doing that because then it would go against someone else and all that stuff. So anyway, so there's that sort of, you know, sorted. And the next one, go among the infirm and wounded wherever you find them. I mean, at the beginning of Mizalth, we tried to heal that one mage, but it didn't work. He was already too mortally wounded, I guess, and we weren't powerful enough of a healer yet. But I obviously know that was a scripted event, you know. But I'm trying to explain it, you know. But yeah, we are trying to do that. We have Healing Hands, which is, you know, a very perfect spell for that sort of thing. And so we will be doing that. Offer prayer to Stendar every day is the third one. The minute I find a shrine to Stendar, I have a religion mod installed, and I will be able to acquire his prayer hymns. And from that point onward, we will be. I mean, I might not have it on. Obviously, I won't have it on record because it would just be a very. I mean, maybe that's when I'll do updates. Maybe I'll do update videos while he's praying. I'll go over and talk about things or whatever. But anyway, we'll figure that out when we come to it. But once I am able to find a prayer hymn, we will be doing that every day. I will be doing that every day. He can pray at a shrine or just wherever he is. So we'll, you know, depending on where the shrine is and our proximity, we'll try to figure that one out. And then the next one is do not hoard wealth or indulge physically. We're not really hoarding wealth. We tend to blow a lot of it on spells that will help us further, you know, help us affect the world in the name of Stendar, I suppose. So anyway, and indulge physically. I mean, obviously, I haven't used any of the prostitutes' services. You know, even though I wouldn't mind giving them like business because they're friends of my mother and I respect them and all that, you know, but we're not that it's not for us to do. And I know that, like, in Dave's playthrough right now, he's giving money to beggars by using the bribe option in the like speech dialogue or this little speechcraft game that you do to raise someone's opinion of you. But obviously it's not an option here, so all I can do is give them 1 gold, which really, frankly, is kind of a bummer. And I wouldn't mind looking for a mod that just ups that 1 gold to something more substantial, like, you know, at least 5 or 10 or something, you know. But because 1 is pathetic, you know what I mean. I'm sure it helps, but like, we could do better than that. Okay, we, as a vigilant, we want to do better than that. And not even just that, as like someone that's been in that environment, that's grown up in that environment, now that we have money, we would love to, you know, kind of distribute it to people that we know could use it. And it's hard to do that when all I can give a beggar is 1 gold at a time. So anyway, we'll come to that. We'll figure that out a bit later. But and this is obviously, above all, never forget, be kind and generous to the people of Tamriel, protect the weak, heal the sick, and give to the needy. All, you know, pretty much kind of just summing up the rest of them. So I think I've already covered that. So also, though, if you notice reading that and reading the next one, it doesn't It doesn't mention anything about like wild animals. You know, it says be generous to the people of Tamriel. You know, and so I've been, you know, going out of my way to use like the fear spell, you know, on like wolves, and they've been giving me a hell of a time. If you guys have been watching the episodes up till now, you definitely know I've been having issues with wildlife, specifically wolves, but not exclusively. And nowhere in here, I mean, I forgot. I had read this before, obviously, before the playthrough, but nowhere in here does it even mention, oh hey, like try not to kill animals. It never says that. So like, you know, maybe Davos would prefer not to kill animals, which I can respect, obviously, but he does not need to go so far out of his way, in the name of Stendarr at least, to spare the animals of Tamriel. If anything, honestly, he's doing a disservice to the people of Tamriel by keeping the wolves, the feral wolves, alive instead of like killing them. So anyway, from here on out, we will have no qualms at all with destroying these characters, the wolves and the rest of the wildlife. So something to keep in mind. I feel like that's something that I've been a part of my role playing that's really kind of been misguided, I suppose, and I'm going to be doing it correctly from here on out. But yeah, so there's that. I suppose if I wanted to explain that I can't talk today, but if I wanted to explain it from the character standpoint, it would just mostly be since he has the fear spell, he figures like why kill this animal if I don't have to, so I'm going to endeavor to scare it away. But now with this new point of view, you know, thinking, oh hey, if I don't kill this animal, it's going to like maim some poor little, you know, traveling merchant guy or some other traveler or something, or you know what I mean? Like now through that lens, he's gonna be like, okay, well, I hate to kill this animal, but I better do it for the good of the Tamrielic people. So anyway, sorry, I don't want to waffle on too much about all that stuff, but let's get on to the next one, which is the 4 Abominations. By Vicinius Imbrex, Archbishop of Coral. So we go, thus Stendarr looked upon the world of mortals, and he found it afflicted by abominations. And he made it known unto his priests, resolutes, and templars, that these unnatural profanities are abhorrent in his sight, and are to exterminate. Okay, there's a bit of a typo here, but anyway, are to be exterminated by the righteous without halt or mercy. For these abominations are each and every the eternal enemies of the mortals of the Mundus, and shall not be suffered to abide among us. And these abominations are 4 in kind, and may be known thusly: the Daedra, those unworldly horrors that are not of Mundus, but come from oblivion to inflict cruelty and death upon the mortals of Tamriel; the man-beasts, those mortals who, through traffic with the bestial Hircine, do change their skins for those of animals, preying thence upon the innocent; the risen corpses, those restless undead whose rotting bodies persist with loathsome and unnatural vigor, sowing fear and agony among the living; the deathless vampires, who feed horrifically upon honest citizens, regarding righteous mortals as mere cattle to sate their unholy hungers. Then it says, know these 4 abominations, O ye righteous, and gather to slay them where'er they appear. So those are the 4 abominations. Those will be definitely a driving force behind, you know, we will go out of our way, I suppose is what I'm saying, to sort of purge any of those 4 from the earth. And that's why I'm also focusing a lot on restoration, because it will help with vampires, corpses, the risen corpses, so like Draugr and all that. And then the man, beast, and Daedra, I suppose, was mostly where my fire destruction magic and all that will come into play. But yeah, actually, I have a mod that adds a werebore quest, which is pretty well done. The models look really great, and they use obviously the animations from the werewolves and everything, but it looks correct, and I really do want to put that in I want to install that again, because the original idea was to become a werebore, because I thought that would just be fun, you know, because you don't ever play as a werebore unless, I don't know, maybe in Daggerfall you might become one, I don't really know. or might have the opportunity to become one. But now with this character, the way that he is, I mean, I think we would just have fun. Not have fun, per se, but it would be a fun little quest to go and purge these werebore from Skyrim. So something to consider. Would be really fun to do from a player point of view. Anyway, so those are the precepts and the 4 abominations. They're very important. I'm going to try and read them every so often, so I don't forget any of the details. Although it's pretty straightforward, there's not a ton I really think I'm going to be forgetting. So anyway, yeah. So that's kind of important for our character here. And now you know. So yeah, we're going to be playing this a little differently. However, for the time being, I'm still going to be kind of have the blinders on, as I said before, because this is a very important quest that we're currently doing, and we got to find the Staff of Magnus, and we got to get our skates on and get this done, you know. And then after that, maybe we'll do a few more Radiant quests and sort of, you know, let loose a little bit more. Also, the reason I keep sort of just standing in front of this door is because I didn't know this. When I went to leave, I could not find an exit back there that I could leave through. And when I finally came to this door, there was a little one of the Stygic Order fellas popped up and was talking to me, and I didn't have my headphones in. I wasn't recording. I have no idea what he said. I was just like, okay, well, time to reload and do this on camera, because, you know, I didn't expect that to happen. I have not played through this questline before, you know, which most people might not have thought that to begin with, but also maybe you did, because I've been so lost. Like back, for example, over this way, back when I was doing I didn't know you had to use heat and ice and all that stuff, and I genuinely was lost. So, you know, I'm sure I'm not doing a great job of hiding it. But anyway, if there were any if there was any question whether or not I'd done this before, there it is for the record. No, I have not. So anyway, let's walk forward and see what this guy has to say.
You have done well thus far, but trying times are ahead. It is imperative that you return to your college at once. You will be called on to take swift action, rise to the challenge, and discover what you are capable of. You are on the right path, and you will prevail.
Wow, okay, cool. We just flat out said that I'm gonna be just fine. So I think that makes Davis feel a lot better about all of this, quite honestly. Okay, but we better get our ass back to the college ASAP. So, and actually, come to think of it, if I do make this an update video, I really should have waited to do that little cutscene bit as part of it. So I don't know how I'm going to make that work. I guess I wasn't thinking. I forgot that I said I might make this an update video, and then I went ahead and kind of had that little experience, which is important. You know, it's important for the character building. So I don't know. Maybe I'll edit that last bit out in the beginning of the. You know what? I really don't know. I guess that'll be something I'll figure out in post, and you'll find out what I've done with it when these are uploaded. But what I'll probably do is I'll keep this in the update video, and then I'll just have a little like recap in the beginning of my episodes, sort of like how Dave does, to kind of, you know, remind you of the very last thing that happened, and I can always put that in that section. Previously, I wasn't going to do that, but now perhaps it's the best idea, because it is quite nice, although I usually skip through them. But I guess in this case, maybe it's necessary. Anyway, okay. I'm guessing this goes to Skyrim, eh? Or not. Am I getting close to... There we go, okay. I was like, oh, I better have this key. My god. Okay, so here we are. We're out. So I'm gonna go ahead and... Wow, beautiful sky tonight. Well, not tonight, but this evening. I'm gonna go ahead and save it here, guys. And, alright. Wonderful. I'll be seeing you guys real soon. And, sorry this was a bit long. A lot of talking. Well, I wasn't even moving the character half the time. Well, not half the time, most of the time. So, sorry about that. But hopefully it wasn't that bad. And, Hopefully it was all very interesting, because it's all incredibly relevant to this character. So if you're invested in this character at all, like I am, hopefully you found that stuff important in some way. Anyway, I'll stop talking now. I feel like I'm just droning on at this point, and I will talk to you guys pretty soon. Okay, take care. Bye.